Hey friends, how's it going? Today's a good day. I received a Christmas present in the mail from Reese. If you just don't know who Reese is, majority of the work I do on the channel and saws, they're all Reese's basically, except for the ones that he's sent me as payment. Now I knew you had short day today. Well, it was supposed to be. I had a doctor's appointment for a medical for driving. I'm a truck driver, if anyone didn't know. Or lorry drivers for you American guys. I drive a Cat CT 630 set at 700 horsepower. Truck and dog is what we call them here, tippers. Tipper on the prime mover itself and a 3-axle super dog behind it. I don't know if you know what they are. I might put a photo up in one of the videos one day, just of the combination itself, what it looks like, etc. It's a day cab, twin 6 or 7 inch stacks. Cut the 45-degree miter up top. I've officially hit the muscle saw category, I would say. Not many of my saws are muscle saws. My 2100 CD, I've never run it apart from the video I did when I finished fixing it for Reese. He actually gifted it back to me for Christmas last year. I think it was Christmas last year. So that was my present. I got it back after I worked on it. It come back with a sheared flywheel key. I replaced that. Sorry for how the phone's sitting. It's in the iPad holder. I still haven't got a phone holder for in here, in the man cave. I do have the little tripod with the little fold out legs that you can hold together and use it as a selfie, but it's in the shed as a selfie, like a mini selfie stick. So I will get better at filming, all that sort of type of deal. But anyway, back to my gift. It's a 112cc American horse muscle saw. It's red. I'll just tell you, it's a Homelite 750. It is in as unboxed condition. Some assembly required. I had to, the starter was off. It was the recoil, the spring was redone by someone, but as soon as I pulled it out off the saw, obviously it went in a little bit and stopped. It's got a brand new rope. I don't know if this is the factory handle. It possibly could be. It's a T. I'll lift it up a bit higher just in case it gets cut out. It's got a wasp nest in there, or mud daubers, or whatever you guys call them over there. You probably won't see it very much. See what I mean? It's stopped again. So that'll have to be looked at properly. Brand new rope. Starter was off, screws were in the holes. There's one screw missing. I'm fairly certain I'll have a XL12 Super XL screw that'll fit straight in there. Air filter and top cover off. I'll give you a short glimpse of it in a minute. The workbench is absolutely filthy. Muffler's off. The piston needs a little bit of scotch padding. There's only very minute cold seizure and a little bit of transfer on the it's under the rings. So it's a chain brake model. Side cover was off, muffler's off, guide plate. The inner bucking spike is off. The bottom section's broken completely. It's still there. I'll just piff that out the door. It's still there. It can be patched. I just want to add, these saws are huge compared to a 350 which I've got and a 360. These are twice the size. But I'll see if I can get lift it up to show you. This is how dirty it is. See that brake? It's all the way through on top of where the AV mounts. The handlebar's off, it's under the bench at the present moment. It was all on the back table. Air filter's in fairly good condition. It's the grommet with the two little tabs that you lift it off with is no longer. It's like it's melted or disintegrated over time. But that is still good. The carb has been off and been re-kitted as far as I seen in the video he sent me, or it was a video call. Throttle lock doesn't work. The mechanism moves and you can kind of see where it was. The little Duvalaki itself works. I think there's still a little bit of fuel in the tank. Oil pump, manual oiler. Feels, I can actually hear it bubbling, so that should be good to go. I'm over the moon. I thought this, well, originally this all was coming to me to be sorted out, then posted back to Reese, but he decided to gift it to me. Sparks and fires. Well, it fired on a prime when he tried it. He's taken the muffler off. The muffler needs a little bit of heating and bending back into shape. I'll actually show you that because it's off, which can be done. The handlebar itself needs a bit of a realignment. There's no muffler gasket as far as I can see in any bags, and looking at that, it was screwed straight to the cylinder, but I might, there you go. It needs a little bit of heating with a torch, and I'll just stick a screwdriver or a pick in that screw hole right there with this all glowing, and I'll pull it out. Hopefully I can straighten it out. I've done a fair bit of sort of panel beating, exhaust repair in my life. I used to work in an exhaust shop doing custom exhaust jobs and fitting extractors or headers, you guys call them over there. All that sort of stuff. This is the handlebar. It's had a knock here, so it's bent up and back. Being OEM aluminium, I'm hoping I can at least do a little bit there just to realign it. If I have to, I'll re-grip or put another grip over the top here to try and level it out. But that's all right, doesn't feel too bad. Came with the inner bucking spike, the two guide plates, all the screws and bolts and fasteners and washers, and looking at that washer that goes on top of the air filter, which is probably the fix for that. Spark arrestor screen and deflector. don't know if I'll run it. Deflector needs sorting out. As you can see, it's bent with the muffler or whatever it was hit with. I'm thinking of turning those fish gills the other way so it's blowing the exhaust away from me instead of like in front. Just little things that I do. The bottom piece of the handle is actually broken, but someone's made up a thing like my 360 has. Bolts to the handle and screws into the body. We'll see how we go with the saw, and if anyone's got one that's willing to post here. A piston for this from Little Red Barn is going to cost 130 Australian dollars. It's $39.95 US for the piston, which converts to 50, I think $60 Australian, and then the rest is tax and import tax. So yeah, I'm excited. Sorry about that. Give you a little glimpse, just ignore the mess on the bench. The 084 stuff there, and on everything on the bench here. Super Pro 81 lower handle. So the muffler's gone. This piece is broken. Don't really care about that. It's interchangeable, obviously. Original transmitter, and it has not been removed at all by the look of that. So it's probably still got original or early spark plug in it. I might give you a quick look at the piston if I can show you. Yep, I can actually. If I grab, where's the rope? Just, oh yeah, you can see the rings down now. Just see that little score in the middle? It's under the ring. Then there's further down, if I can get it to a little bit down, further down there. So there's little dots of dark stuff. It's either a cold seizure or carbon scored, because it's fairly carboned up, that exhaust, that port. This phone records differently like this. This is the second one. So all the videos from April, May, June, all through winter last year. This was the phone that was doing it. It's just a little glimpse of my backyard, camper trailer, a couple of weed whackers. That one there's the missus' favourite, a little Echo, forget the model, CS, I can't remember what they are, 2100 or something, straight shaft. The stills are FS220 AV, which is essentially a MS 170 engine on the side type of deal. So a little bit of work to do. I don't know what that was. Hopefully just a chain brake. Oh, sorry guys. I'll show you that handle in place. Where did I put it? right there. I have not seen it up close, but kind of works. See how it mounts. Obviously when the muffler's in place, and then it screws. Oh, there you go. So you wouldn't even think that was not part of the saw. It's been on there that long. Pretty nifty. Nifty means neat or cool, kind of pretty nifty. Or there's another word we have, it's called spiffy. Pretty spiffy means you look pretty smart, dressed up. It's a dressed up like you're going out to dinner or on a date. Spiffy, you look pretty spiffy. So yeah, that's a nice little, well, I think that's probably the best Christmas present I've ever received, apart from the 2100. The 2100, if you've watched the video, you'll see it's been, someone's repainted it with a pressure pack spray can without primer type of deal. I use Super Etch primer. I'll be doing a Canadian 270 in the near future. I've actually got the colour of the paint is right there in that spray can, if you can see it behind the hardwood 61. That's also another saw build. So I think I might have a sit down in my chair. I've got a go juice on me, so might actually sit my 360 on top of the 750, and you'll see the size difference. There will be a little video on the 360. I did do a start 'em up. Actually, I did the crazy spark issues and test run. Same as Leon's. It's called Charlie's Homelight 360 Crazy Spark Issues and Test Run, or bench test. My saw had the same thing, believe it or not. There's a 360 on top of a 750. Oh, they're not that much bigger, but width. Sorry I'm doing it this way, guys. I keep forgetting to turn it around to the other camera so it's easier. But there you go. Another homemade bottom handle. Pretty neat, pretty mint. I do have an OEM one off a part saw, but it's got to go on the 350 because it's broken as well. So I just need another starter handle. This one's got one of our Victor Aussie made lawnmower, 2-stroke lawnmowers handles on it. So we'll have a sit down and I'll close this video out. Just give me 2 seconds. Got to get a fag. I can't have a yarn to use without a durry in my mouth. So, in closing, all I'm going to do with the 750, if it can be done, is remove the cylinder, hopefully without having to remove the intake, which I don't think I can. But I want to, maybe I will, because I want to inspect the intake boot, because I'd have to get a new one, and I don't think they'll be the same as the 350, 360 type. There's a possibility I could probably use a MS660 intake boot like the 410. We'll just talk about that for a second. The 660 boot, I think, added more power because of the little nubs inside the boot that help with atomization. The factory ones don't, as everyone knows, I think. Well, from ones I've seen, they're just a smooth piece of rubber tubing. So, excuse me for a second, my right hand thumb's starting to ache from holding the phone this way. There we go, that's better. Put it that way. So, all I'm going to do, hopefully, sort that starter out, take the cylinder off, inspect it, clean it, service it, etc., whatever it needs. I'm hoping there's still plating left underneath the exhaust port. Looking at the piston, it kind of scares me a bit. But if this piston, if the cylinder's alright and I need a new piston, then I'll get a new piston. If there's plating off underneath the exhaust port, I can still run it. There's none on the 576. There's a little spot, probably the size of a pea that you eat, or a piece of corn, underneath the exhaust port. It still runs. I'll run the bejesus out of it until it won't run again, and then I'll just put a Jukes or little Red Barn, or I'll put, well, that's 576 top end. If not, I'll just convert it to a 575. It's only a minute difference, because there's a lot more options for top ends for the 575 other than this 576. Maybe. Them saws only come out once a year anyway, but that's a different story. So this on the 750 Homie, I'll do what I got to do. Check. I'm suspicious there's a broken ring just because of the way the top one's sitting. But I'll let you all know. So, Merry Christmas to me. It's a nice little present. Yes, I do have to work on it. That's no big deal. The 2100, all I had to do was put a new flywheel key in it, and away it went. And I'm still yet to run it properly with a proper bar and chain. I've got a brand new bar, Oregon bar there, 24 inch. Is it a, what do they call them? Duramax? Dura something with the Lubritech oil system. Brand spanking new, hard nosed bar. I've just got to get a 404 full chisel chain. It's going to be run at Sawfeast next year, so watch out for them. I'll have to get a little camera crew together, hopefully. I'll be filming races that I'm not in, etc. I'm making up a little, what do you call it? Stencil with the logo. Saw Feast 2023 with a couple of saws, etc. in the stencil to paint on the end of the logs, and the winner takes the first cookie. Just because trophies and all that type of stuff is going to cost a lot of money. This is going to be the first real run for the event. The one we had, which I'm still yet to put up, I'm sorry, but it's coming, was only a trial run. So the next one's going to be probably full on official stuff. So that's that on the 750. Got some muscle happening. That little snippet of the 61 hardwood. It's not technically a hardwood. It possibly could be. It might have been a white top. I can't remember. Looking at the clutch, it's probably a hardwood or a 61 something. I can't remember. I just got the bottom end, and then I went to a mate's house and he said, do you need a top cover for a 61? And it was black. I was like, yeah, no worries. It probably won't fit because I want to make a 272 sleeper. Kind of like what everyone does with the 66. They put the 272 top end on it under the 66 top cover, etc. It's going to be, I'm going to port it, probably pipe it, type of deal. It's a 48mm top end presently. I do have the 625 John Sered plus the 61. I could probably make one out of the two. Now, in saying that, I could put the cylinder and piston off the 625, which means it's got the rubber intake boot with the square block. So I need to run the carb, the throttle linkage, elbow, filter, and probably the top covers on the 61 if I go that direction, because the 625 bottom end's locked up. And it had everything minus the muffler, I believe. Yes, everything but the muffler. So the handlebar's slightly different, but it'll fit. Anyhow, just that's enough rambling, I suppose. Just ecstatic. I've got a big American muscle saw here now. And it would be my second biggest CC saw. The Solar X being the biggest. Then the 750. 2100 next. And then all the old, the Danarm DV700, that's 98 cc's, I think. And all the other old dinosaurs, we call them. The Clinton D65, that's 98. forget what they are. 65, it's gear drive, my only gear drive. And then 394s, 660, 661. Then the Mac 250s, the 800, 850, and downwards from there. So the biggest home light I've ran to date, I think, is the 410, but I think they're the same CCs as an XL12. Or are they 65? No. They might be slightly bigger than an XL Auto, Super XL Auto. So there you go, they're the only home lights I've ran, which is my XL12 there. I haven't cut with my Super XL Auto properly, the big red. It's only got a 16-inch bar with the safety tip thing on the end of it, so you can't use the whole bar in the 410. I did race this 8800 and I beat it with my 288, Porter 288, the first version without the timing wheel. I don't know how I won, but I did. But yeah, that'll do. Haven't finished with Dari yet. Just a bit of rambling. I have run an 88 881. It had I think a 9-tooth 24-inch 404 full chisel chain. You'll see it in the Sawfeast videos when I eventually get to putting them up. They're all on my hard drive for the computer, so maybe one day in the holidays over Christmas I'll get in there and I'll sort that out and get them up so you can watch. I'm still yet to run the ported Chrissy themed XL Auto. I mean in timber. It starts 3 or 4 pulls every time I pull it down off the shelf. But in the meantime I've still got this ported with base cut. It's a ported 395 with the 20,000 off the base, saw to build for Reese. The other parts came the other day in the mail. The box is still inside. I still haven't brought it out yet to continue with that build. That'll probably be Sunday this weekend. Tomorrow's Thursday? It's Friday. It's Friday tomorrow already, jeez. Where's the week gone? Well, tomorrow's Friday and I'm working Saturday. So Sunday it'll be out in the shed. All going well. But 395 won't take long now. All the parts are here. He forgot the carb clamp for that the boot goes through, and then your throttle cable comes through. He forgot that, and the little insert for the boot. That helps with little atomizations as well. It's got little holes in it. He forgot those two in the original box. They came with the 750 today. So yes, I have heaps to do. I've still got to find the starter parts for my Promac 800 so I can pull it over with the rope and see if it'll run. It does fire with the drill, but it's not fast enough. So I've still got that. I've still got a bottom end build 621 Johnson Red. That's whenever I get to it. I have seen one cutting in a race scenario, a complete stock saw. They knew what they were doing. But there's plenty of vids coming. Hopefully they suffice. Hopefully one of you guys out there has the same saw and it's kind of got the same problems, and we can sort out what they are. I mean, my saws are fairly straightforward. I do have a Countervibe 3700 pull, and I've got to look at when you pull the cord. It sounds like the clutch side bearing is locked up and it's actually spinning inside the cases. That type of squeal when you pull on the cord. But then it could be clutch. I haven't taken the side cover off. It is a chain brake model. Oh no, it's a non-chain brake model. It's got the flag that bolts to the handlebar. It would be nice to see what that is and see how much better it is than the 3400. But that's possibly a next year project yet. But yeah, let me know in the comments what yous are working on. If yous are working on anything. I wish it was snowing on stuff here. I'd have to be sitting here with my fire going and working on saws too, but excuse me. It is about 8 o'clock at night here. The sun's still up. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Yeah, not a very exciting video. Possibly it is for me. Well, an exciting day, I should rephrase that. Homelight 750. Nice. I like it. We'll jump into that very soon. I will film the 395 build on Sunday. The tank handle is missing one AV. That's in the box, I believe. So I'll start it off probably putting the tank back on properly. I had to glue that little the breather hose on the 395, so I'm not familiar with them. I've got 394s, or rather. They've got a little plug that goes in the little spot for the breather. It comes out the hose with a little, like an air stone for fish filters, the little air stone looking things. Like the Homelight in the caps, they got that little thing. It goes up. I had to RTV that in because it wouldn't push in and clip in properly. So, and I haven't checked it since last Sunday. Anyhow, we'll do all that in that video. I might leave it about here. 40 minutes is long enough for me rambling. But hope you enjoy. Also on this phone, I'm still going through older videos. I seen one that caught my eye while I was eating dinner. Before I was watching it, I don't believe I posted it, so I might put that up. It's working on a Weed Whacker Alpina 25F or something the model is. I got it for $5 at the tip. The tip rubbish dump, for everyone that doesn't know that word. Most of our tips or rubbish dumps here have a recycling facility or a buyback shop. You can go there. Large items like lawn mowers and trimmers and blowers and all that sort of leaf blowers. People that throw them out, or I've even bought a drill. Fuel tank for outboard boat motors, all that sort of stuff. Nothing wrong with them. The mowers, the trimmers, the blowers, most of them are just need a spark plug or fuel filter, fuel hoses, all that sort of stuff. But I might put it up. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Hope you follow me along on the 750 when I get to it, which could possibly be Sunday at this rate, because the 395's it's just a reassemble. I can't continue my OEM 660 build. I need the 4-cylinder bolts. And I've got pretty much everything so I need handlebar, which is on my Pharmatech. Sorry, I'm just making this a little bit longer. OEM handlebar on my Pharmatech 660. It needs a new grip, which you can buy on eBay. I've got the flag. I've got a muffler there I can make a dual port out of until I buy. I'm going to get aftermarket dual port. I know where there's some good quality ones just up the road. I've got the rear handle minus the top stuff, which I can get off another Pharmatech handle. The only thing I don't have is the pre-filter, air filter, the little Duvalaki that goes onto on the 660, because this one's has the flat top rear handle 064 066 red light on my Pharmatech, so it's got that built in already. So actually I might still have it. I do still have it. But the heart of the saw, even the tank, is OEM, but then you got the muffler's OEM. It's just the back half's OEM. The front piece is OEM, but it's been patched up like it had a dual port there, and then it kind of exploded or rusted away. And they've welded a plate to the front, but then I can cut a port into that plate and open it up. Just cut 2 slits or 3 slits, open it up, and then cut a couple little triangles and then make it like a bark box type deal. But they're etc. So the top cover's OEM. I've showed you that already. It's got this little chip out of it right there. The badge is on the Pharmatech. then pre-filter, filter cover, the triggers, and that'll be Pharmatech for now until I can get OEM stuff. And she'll be ready to go, hopefully. Let's have a swig of me Go Juice and then I'll let you go. I talk too much. It's gone cold already. Only been out here an hour. That's alright, it's iced coffee. What are we, the 8th day? 8th. Is it the 8th today? Yes, 8th day of summer, and it's 15 degrees Celsius. Beautiful weather. Anyhow, that'll do. I could sit here and go on all night about my sores, but how's it going? Anyhow, I've bored you long enough. If you sit through this, you'll sit through anything, basically. Yeah. Have a good night. Friday tomorrow, thank God. TGIF. I'll let you in on a little hint. There might be another clone 371 showing up here tomorrow. I'm doing a little bit of trade. I've got K1270 clutch mufflers, rear handles, throttle cable, and some other bits and bobs that might be going to a mate so he can finish his 3120 off. That's basically what the saw is, but it's a demo version. And it looks a little bit different. I'm hoping that happens, because I said I only really want it for the crank so I can put my Pharmatech 371 back together. But I'm going to measure the bore. If I end up with it tomorrow night, I might flick this back on then, give you a quick look, let you know what the bore is, because there's no markings on it at all. There's no badge, there's no sticker, no starter sticker. It's just a blank canvas, like excuse me, like the early Pharmatech kit saws. It does have a blue decomp button. It's a low top, so it's either 365, 371, early 372. But when I got my kit saw, I thought I was getting a 365. It was a 50mm single ring piston. It's a 371 low top, which is now pulled apart. The crank's in my 365 52mm big bore. So if I end up with a saw tomorrow night, I might do a quick video, show you the saw. I don't care if I don't get the bar and chain. Don't really care, but I'm hoping it's a 50mm. Bore, so I can fill you in on a little race saw builder's secrets for a 50mm 372. Or one, doesn't really matter, as long as the bore's 50mm. You got to put a 200 series piston in it. do your intake and your exhaust and your lower transfer timing to what you're going to do with a normal 372, and then you put 2 base gaskets in, or one, that I'm thinking I'm going to make one. I've got to measure it, the gasket, and then because I've got 0.8, I've got 0.8 millimeter gasket paper, I can make out one. If they're going to be 0.4 each, I can make one, and stick it in a log, open the throttle and hold on for dear life. Apparently Reese has built one, then it played up, but I don't think he's fixed it. But anyway, stick around for that build, it's coming. It's a 50mm 372 build with a 200 series piston. You might have guessed it already. But all will be revealed in due time. My Sleeper 61, which is going to have a 272 top end, that's coming. I know I've said that already. Anyway, have a good night. Thanks for dropping in. Like, comment, subscribe, add the bell. I'll put another video up, something that's not a saw, but I hope you enjoy. I don't think I started. It's just showing what I do when I get something that I don't know how long it's sat for, etc. But it'll give you something short to watch. See you on the next one. Hooroo.